Welcome to my show. I'm Kintaro, a successor of Rakugo, a traditional Japanese performing art with a 500-year history. I'll be introducing Japanese culture to all of you watching from overseas.
Today, I'm about a 7-8 minute walk from Tokyo Station. The owner of this vast forest-like estate is the main subject of our discussion today.
If you asked 100 Japanese people who the most revered person in Japan is, I bet they'd name the owner of this estate. This lineage has continued for 126 generations, spanning approximately 2,600 years. I'm sure you've already guessed who I'm talking about. It's His Majesty the Emperor. Today, I want to talk about the issue of imperial succession. However, for us Japanese, the emperor is a transcendent figure, and it almost feels presumptuous to even discuss him. However, something happened recently. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about the succession of the Japanese imperial family. Now, what you see here is called Nijubashi, or the double bridge. Nijubashi is arguably one of the Imperial Palace's greatest highlights. The Imperial Palace grounds are about 5 kilometers in circumference, and today I'd like to walk the entire 5-kilometer perimeter while discussing the issue of the Emperor's successor. I'll stop along the way to explain some of the spots. So, this all started with His Majesty's statement on June 11th, 2026. The Emperor made an unprecedented statement. After Japan's defeat in the war, under the GHQ occupation, the constitution changed, and the Emperor's position shifted from being the head of state to a symbol of Japan. Being a symbol means he's a figurehead, much like a national flag. Since then, the Constitution has stipulated that he should not make political statements. However, he made a statement regarding how the law concerning the imperial family succession is being debated in the current Diet session. He said, "I hope that discussions on how to secure the number of imperial family members will also lead to the understanding of the people. As a democratic nation, you think this is a perfectly normal statement, right?" However, the public is taking these remarks very seriously. Many believe his statement was meant to suggest there's an issue with how discussions are conducted in the Diet. First, the reason the imperial succession issue is being discussed is that there are currently 16 members of the imperial family. Out of these 16, 11 are women and 5 are men. There's a shortage of male imperial family members who would traditionally succeed to the throne. Recently, 9 female members have been born consecutively, leading to a lack of male heirs. The last 2 born who are candidates for the throne are Princess Aiko, daughter of the former emperor, and Prince Hisahito, the youngest member of the imperial family and the eldest son of Crown Prince Akishino, the current emperor's younger brother. So, the current order of succession is Crown Prince Akishino, Prince Hisahito, and Princess Aiko. it's clear the line of succession isn't very deep. However, it's puzzling why the succession issue is the top priority in the current Diet session. Why has the ruling party suddenly brought up the imperial succession issue? In 2001, when Princess Aiko was born, there was a general consensus that a female emperor would be acceptable. I remember the joyful atmosphere when the emperor's child was born. However, this was not explicitly codified in the imperial house law at the time. Then, with the birth of Prince Hisehito in 2006, his succession as a male heir became certain. While it's true that with fewer imperial family members, this issue needs to be considered, some people feel the discussion is too sudden and wonder why. All right, we've just arrived at the entrance to the East Garden. There are several entrances, but I'll go in through this one. This is my first time entering. Is the Gyeon like the Emperor's Garden? These stone walls are really impressive. That's because this is now the Imperial Palace. But actually, back in the Edo period, this was Edo Castle, where the shogun lived. In 1603, Tokugawa Ieyasu made Edo Castle his primary residence. After he unified Japan, it became the center of the country and the home of the Tokugawa family for 15 generations. In 1868, when the Edo shogunate was dissolved by the new government forces, Emperor Meiji moved from Kyoto to this Edo castle. And that's when it officially became known as the Imperial Palace. It's a very lush green place. Here at the Imperial Palace, you can spot insects and birds rarely seen elsewhere in Tokyo. The grandfather of the current emperor, Emperor Showa, was actually famous for his insect research. It looks like many foreign visitors come here. There are so many interesting spots to see just within the Imperial Palace grounds. Alright, let's continue. What exactly is the problem with how the government is discussing this? The truth is, historically, emperors have always been male line descendants. Being a male line descendant means that the emperor's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather must all have been male. To put it a bit more technically, it means the male Y chromosome must have been passed down through generations. Looking back through history, it seems there have been cases where, to maintain this lineage, male line descendants were sought out from many generations back to become emperor. Many experts and politicians from both ruling and opposition parties argue that the imperial family should continue by upholding this tradition. It's certainly a very straightforward argument. However, if we look back in history, there were apparently 8 female emperors. Naturally, when a woman became emperor, her son would not succeed her. Instead, a male descendant through the paternal line would be sought out from previous generations to become emperor. Under the ruling party's proposal, reforms are being discussed to ensure the continuation of this paternal lineage. As a solution to prevent the extinction of the paternal line, the idea of increasing the number of imperial family members to make it easier to secure male descendants has become mainstream among both ruling and opposition parties. Now, take a look over here. This is an iris, a flower unique to this season. It's a very Japanese flower and has been believed to ward off evil spirits since ancient times. You can see many lotus flowers over there. July and August are when lotuses bloom, so it looks like there will be continuous beautiful sights to see. There's so much to see here. If you look to the left, can you hear that sound? It's like a waterfall. This area is a haven for small animals. I'd like you to take a look inside this pond too. It's so picturesque and full of life, isn't it? And here, carp are swimming. They're swimming gracefully. They probably never fight over food. It's more like they're welcoming us, saying, "Glad you came." This is truly a wonderful highlight of the Imperial Palace. There are benches available if you want to take a short break. It's a really pleasant and relaxing time here. You should definitely come and visit. Now, there's a proposal to broaden the interpretation of the imperial family's lineage to secure more male heirs from the paternal line. However, this proposed solution has 2 significant issues. While the imperial family is quite small today, under the laws that existed until Japan's defeat in World War II, it reportedly comprised 11 different families. Thus, a proposal emerged to increase the number of imperial family members by reinstating those who were removed under the new constitution established by the U.S. after the war. However, there are significant concerns. What exactly prompted His Majesty's recent statement? This is purely speculative, but the fundamental question is whether the general public would accept former imperial family members who have lived as ordinary citizens outside the imperial household and haven't received any imperial education suddenly rejoining the imperial family.
The emperor's immediate family received specialized education from childhood, covering diplomacy, Shinto rituals, and all aspects of imperial conduct. That's the first issue. Now, for the second point, which I believe is quite significant, let's imagine 5 new male heirs from the paternal line were to join the imperial family. If these individuals were to be newly recognized as successors to the emperor, the question then becomes, what would be their order in the line of succession? The primary concern is the potential for external influence. Wouldn't it become easier for someone's intentions to sway decisions as more individuals are brought into the imperial family? There's a concern that individuals acting as agents for various factions could infiltrate the imperial family. Given that Japan is a small nation, there's a risk of foreign powers, extremist groups, or individuals representing the interests of neighboring countries infiltrating. The concern is that an imperial family propped up by such influences could emerge. It's truly puzzling why the current administration is rushing to finalize this law. What are their true intentions? From my perspective, a critical issue that has been completely ignored in the Diet is being left unaddressed. Neither experts nor politicians seem willing to discuss it. That issue is the need to consult the emperor. His Majesty's opinion is essential when deciding on a successor. The public believes this, but the government and experts cannot voice such opinions because the emperor is legally prohibited from making political statements. The issue of succession should, to some extent, be left to the emperor. After all, only the emperor and the imperial family truly understand the talents, qualities, and resilience required to fulfill such a demanding role. This is just my opinion as a citizen, but I believe the vast majority of the public feels the same way. All right, take a look. We've arrived at a spot with an open view. These are the remnants of what was once a castle, featuring moats designed to protect against enemy attacks.
To our right, along the roadway, is the government district. Since the National Diet Building and other government offices are close by, you can see many police officers
During
on
winter,
security duty.
you'll find ducks and other migratory birds here, usually until around February or March. There are quite a few of them, all swimming together peacefully. This is the famous Sakuradaman Gate. It's also known as the site of the Sakuradaman Incident, a rather famous event that took place during the Edo period.
I was wondering what this was, so I took a closer look, and it's actually algae. It's completely covered in it. As I was filming, I saw dragonflies and butterflies flying around. Alright, just a few hundred meters left on the Imperial Palace outer perimeter. After hearing His Majesty's recent remarks, I hope you were able to understand a bit more about the Japanese imperial family. This video ended up being a bit long today, but thank you so much for watching until the end. We're almost done with one full lap. So, once again, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. See you in the next video. Thanks again for watching.